This is our story, from the beginning of time to the Stone Age. Let me introduce you to Luca. She's my great-great-great-grandmother, and yours, and everyone's. Luca was a bacteria, and her name means last universal common ancestor, common to all living beings, at least those who live on this planet. It all started with the Big Bang, the enormous explosion which gave rise to the whole of the universe 13.8 billion years ago. Trillions of particles were shot out then and formed trillions of atoms. Thus helium appeared, and then hydrogen, oxygen, iron, potassium, sodium, calcium, silver, magnesium, and the rest of the elements which created the stars, the planets, the meteorites, and the million things of the universe. Everything around us is formed by elements which came out of the Big Bang and shape every single thing we know. There is neither one more nor one less. This is what Einstein referred to when he said that energy is neither created nor destroyed. It only transforms. It's really amazing that everything we know comes from the Big Bang, and elements which are part of a star might tomorrow be shaping my eyes or my face, and maybe sometime were part of Buddha's heart or Michelangelo's hands. Among the stars was the supernova that exploded, creating the Sun and the planets of the solar system. One of them was the Earth, our home, more than 4.5 billion years ago, a scalding ball of boiling metals which slowly cooled down, giving rise to the rocks. Meteor showers bombed the Earth for millions of years, bringing salt crystals with raindrops inside. There were so many droplets that they generated the oceans. Each sip of water we drink is millions of years old and traveled billions of miles to get to us. One day, the Earth collided with another planet, and millions of missiles flew away. But attracted by mass force, they joined to form the Moon, our satellite, which started to turn around us, but so close to planet Earth that their opposing gravity forces caused tremendous storms and hurricanes, and the Earth started spinning so fast that days lasted only 6 hours. It was a dangerous place where nobody could possibly live, until the Moon walked away, Earth's rotation slowed down, and days got longer. More meteorites brought carbon atoms and primitive proteins from outer space. They fell to the bottom of the oceans, which became a breeding ground where at some point Luca and her bacterian relatives were born, the first living beings on Earth. In shallow areas, sunlight activated bacteria, and they started photosynthesis, a process which transforms carbon dioxide and water into glucose, the sugar we put in the morning coffee, and oxygen. Oxygen is a gas that rose above the water and went up and up, forming the atmosphere, which surrounds and protects us. And so algae grew, plants grew, and from bacteria, worms, sponges, and trilobites, distant relatives of insects, and later on fish grew, walking fish, amphibians, reptiles, dinosaurs, birds, and mammals. The first mammals appeared 150 million years ago, in times when dinosaurs were still ruling the planet. These became extinct when a huge asteroid fell over the Earth, causing tsunamis, earthquakes, rock showers, and so much dust in suspension that it left the planet in the dark for years. Among mammals, only those who lived underground survived, and over the years, these subterranean rodents evolved into all other mammals, and among them, monkeys appeared. They lived happily in the trees, protected from predators. The earth was an immense forest, and they spent the day on the tops, eating leaves and fruits non-stop, as it takes many hours to feed on them. They jumped from branch to branch, cleverly grasping with opposable thumbs that no one else owned, what we call the clamp. 4 million years ago, some monkeys took the first steps to become human. It was out of hunger and need, because forests declined and clearings began to appear where trees, fruits, and leaves were missing. There were two big reasons for this. One was the global cooling that dried up the air on the land, and the other, that on the east coast of Africa, the movement of the earth plates opened the rift crack, almost 4,000 miles long, and mountains raised which blocked the moisture coming from the Indian Ocean and turned the region into an arid savanna, now the area of Ethiopia. The competition for leaves and fruits began, and some groups of monkeys had to come down to spend longer periods on the ground. They had to stand up to be able to see tigers and lions before having them on top. With the years, their legs grew, they lost their tails, the fangs too, and hands were free, gaining in skill. They had to expand their diet and began to eat bugs and living beings, that is, meat. As it has more protein, a small portion fed them more than 3 pounds of salad, and it took them half the time to eat. This gave them a lot of free time. And with skillful hands and the powerful energy that protein was giving them, the brain was activated, and thus the ability to imagine inventions and possibilities. At this point, we can say we were almost human beings. We were hominids, still primates, but already of the Homo genus, and specifically Australopithecus. Since we were on our feet most of the day and had a creative brain capable of clever ideas, such as using stones, sticks, bones, hooves, horns, and anything that could be useful as a tool. And we say that prehistory and the Stone Age started. Let me introduce you to Lucy. She's the oldest Australopithecus we know. She's my great-great-grandmother, and yours, and everyone's.
Lucy in the sky.